Hi guys, we are back to do part 2 of the book we are watercoloring in. Minute of Happiness is what that says. I had to look it up, but I still can't tell you who the author is because I don't speak that language or read it or have a keyboard that types that in. Okay, so we are doing the Sweets page here, and everything is dry from yesterday, so I'm going to be doing a little more watercoloring on certain spots, adding different colors to it, and well, we're still kind of learning, so we will see how it goes. I'm going to lower the camera down, give you a better angle, and we will get to work. Okay, we're going to work on our little cantaloupe up here, I think, first. So let's move some stuff out of the way. All right, we are still working with the Arteza watercolors and using the same water brush I was using. Now my cantaloupe is kind of beige, and we need it to be kind of a more riper cantaloupe. I'm also going to add a little green in for the rind. And then I'm going to try to make this more cantaloupe-y color, which is this like golden yellow would be nice. And we will see how we do on that. So we're going to bring in some of the spring green and just bring it down on the rind of the cantaloupe here. And then we will kind of add a little bit of a mix between the spring green and the olive green and bring it down through the outer rind here. Kind of leaving the veining alone, because the veining is raised up on a cantaloupe. We will see how that works. Just one little green, so I'm going to pull some of that color out of there. All right, now we're going to bring in some of the golden yellow. And add that into the cantaloupe itself. Give it a more cantaloupe color. I'll let that dry and see how that turns out. Okay. Now what was it? The blueberries here. I wanted to put a little purple in them, so I am using a little blue violet. And we're just going to take it in the darkest areas here and give my blueberries more of a blueberry look. So just on the dark, bring it into some areas so you can see it a little better. So we just have a little bit better look there. Okay, and then on our, while we're here on our blueberries, we're going to take in probably some of this indigo that kind of looks a little gray here. This one here. I want a kind of a dark for the center of the berries but I want to stay in the blue, so we'll go ahead and put some of that here on the palette. Mix it in with a little of this Oxford blue. And we'll get a nice little dark color, and we're just going to put it in the centers here. Leaving a little bit of the white still showing in there. Find the center in some of these guys. Just want it in that area. And we have to put some of that down here in the little ones down here in the corner. Okay. Then in our raspberries and our strawberry, we have to put the little green tops on. So we're going to go for the fern green for that. And just put that on our little leaves here. Too much water on that. And blend it out a little bit. And the strawberry down here the same way. Make it darker in the center without a bubble. Okay, let's see what else we got here. We gotta add to, oh, I want to do a little extra to these leaves here. So we'll see if that color will actually be dark enough to add some to the veining here. Let's see how that dries. I also wanted to darken the filling of our macaron here. So we're going to do dark red, the lot of water in it, and kind of add more of a raspberry filling or something here. Just a bit darker. Jelly filling. And on the strawberry, we're going to use a little of that dark red and kind of add it in here a little bit. And across where this line is, darken up that a little bit more. Okay, we're going to use Posca in here, giving it stripes along with some of the fruit down here. We're going to take a little bit of the brown that I had mixed for something yesterday, and down here in the lime, can we see the lime? I'm going to put a little of that brown down here on this line and kind of bring it up, adding a little shadow down there. I should actually bring that down, not up. Trying to remember the whole process of watercolor. It's deeper when you go down, so you don't leave a line up in the area that you're coloring. So if we go down here and we want to bring a line, we bring it down so that your water or color pools at the base where you want it. At least that's kind of what I am finding when I'm doing this. It may not be the way you're supposed to, but it's the way that I'm finding works for me. I'm also going to, on the little mices, add a little more color to them. So we'll do this one here since we're in this area. We're going to add in a little bit more of the black gray color. And I'm going to do that. I am wet all over the place here. Maybe I should do this guy. Give it a minute to dry. I don't want to get it all over the place, but I want to make them a little darker over here. So I'm going to bring in some dash marks. See how it pools down here, and that's where I want it to pool. And dry that up a little bit, a little drier brush. And we're just going to bring in some strokes here. The drier it is, the better their tiny little strokes will be, little hair strokes. And do it up here on his face. It's not dark enough. And we'll let that dry, and then we'll go over it again and make a few more strokes in darker color. We're going to do him too, so we might as well burnt umber. Here. And we'll start down here. Just dashing in some lines, trying not to get the brush get too wet. Kind of want to see those lines a little bit. Something like that. We'll let that dry and we'll go back in and add a few more. Kind of darken his belly up a little bit. And probably in here. It's once you start playing with it, you don't want to get it too wet, or you're not going to see what you're putting down. It's just going to blur in with everybody else. Probably a better idea to do this with a different kind of brush, because this one just adds water to everything. Okay, we're going to take a little of this brown I had out, and we're just going to go over the rind a little bit. Get it a little darker color. I might go in with pencils on that. Bring some of this green up into the cantaloupe too. Maybe it's not quite as ripe. All right, there we go. The leaves are looking okay. Blend this a little bit. Nice thing about watercolor. Got a line, you can soften it up a little, or bring it out if you want. Okay, now what are we going to do? Oh, I was going to do this cookie down here since I have the brown out. I don't like the beige, so I'm going to make it a chocolate cookie. So we're just going to take some of that, what is it now? The burnt umber, and we're going to mix it with a tiny bit of black, and we're just going to make a chocolate cookie. Or at least a chocolate cookie. A little more. Chocolate to it. Try not to get it in the banana. We'll let that dry. If we want to add more to it, we will. All right, what do we got? Do this little cookie up here too, and I think I'm going to do it. I don't even know what kind of cookie it is, but it looks like one of those that has marshmallow in it to me. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a chocolate coating also. Come back with a gel pen or something and do some lattice work on that maybe. Try not to get my mouse here. It's not the brown one. Keep him gray. Okay, chocolatey cookie. Okay, what else now? Oh, we'll do the straws since we're up here. I'm going to do the bowl in a purple. So I'm going to mix this violet with the blue violet and do one straw, and then just do the other one in the violet. So we're going to grab some of the violet here, put it on the palette, water it down a bit. And let's see if we get the bowl. We'll do this one in just the violet color. So I'm going to put it down in one area here. Then I'll get the brush wetter and pull that upward. And take the paint off of it. And then just add water here and bring it up. Okay, that looks fine, and then we will now add the blue violet into that and make a different color. I want a little more blue violet in there. still in the purple, but more like the purple that's in the blueberries. Doing the same thing, just putting water and dragging that color upward. Okay, so we have 2 shades of blues in our straws. We're also going to do the cake pop. I've never eaten one of these, by the way. I've seen them, but I've never eaten them. We're going to do it in the 2 purples. So I'm going to kind of go around with the... I'm going to paint right over those little, whatever they are, sprinkles. So this is the violet color. I'm learning with the watercolors that you do put them down darker than you want to see them. They do dry lighter. Okay, then we're going to come in with some of the purple, or the blue, what is it, blue violet, and just darken this area here and let those do their thing and blend together. Come back with a gel pen or a Posca, and we will add some stuff to that one. Okay, the only other big thing we have to do is every single scoop of ice cream and the cake. I think I'll do the cake. I'm not looking forward to the ice cream for some reason. That looks to be a mess to me. So we will pick up some, I think some yellow ochre here, and we'll just get it nicely watered down for the cake here. Yeah, that's a little bright, but didn't I just say you want to put it down a little brighter because it'll dry lighter. You want the darkness underneath the couldn't remember where I put it on the palette. Palette's a mess. I didn't clean it from yesterday's coloring because I wanted the colors still there. So running out of room to figure out where to put down colors. I want the shadow underneath the frosting. And since this one did get a little brown in there, we'll just mix that in. Okay, let that dry. Ice cream. I don't know, my daughter had mentioned do Neapolitan, and I'm like, oh. So this one would have to be chocolate. Because I made a chocolate cookie, I guess I could make that one chocolate, that one strawberry, and this one vanilla. So strawberry would be this kind of cookie color. That is the fuchsia, really watered down. So we'll see if we put a strawberry ice cream up here. This is just the base because there is shadowing in this we have to do. But I just want a base color down. That's about the right pink. Well, let's see how that works. Chocolate, I guess, right? Is that what I said? Chocolate. So we mix the umber with the black, And try to get a chocolate color. Trying to get a color that doesn't exactly look like every other color I have up here. Okay, it's going to blend really well with that cookie. Does it go all the way down here? And I think there's a little back here. Okay, then we want to take some of that up. All right, base color, remember? Vanilla is kind of a creamy, brownish sort of color. So we'll take a little tiny bit of the brown and add a little yellow or ochre into it. And then just kind of fill it in a little bit. Put some little brown specks in it and call it vanilla bean. Okay, so those have got to dry. And we can do the cup, the container everybody is sat in. And how can we see that? We're going to do that in the violet. So this is kind of scary because it's the biggest spot. Go right here on the seam and just kind of bring the violet up on the edge first. Gonna go under, around the tail of, and under. Gonna go up the sides where the seams are. Add a little bit more water to the brush, and then we're just going to pull that color up into this area. Kind of want to make it light, not too dark. And to coax that back out. Okay. Tiny bit underneath the rim here, and just let all that dry. Go down to the bottom base here. It's going to be the darkest here. Where the glass meets the base, and then we'll just kind of bring it out to the edge around our cookies. on those lines again. And then this rim should be the darkest here too. We will make it darker later because it's not getting really dark right now. And the little center here, we're gonna get it dark on one side and then just bring the water over and let some of that color flow over here. Let that dry and see what we come up with. Oh, that little rim, I guess, before we let everything dry. Can you see the rim of the... Get one side and then fill it with water. Bring that color over. So we're going to take a minute and let this dry. Okay, we are dry, so I'm going to add just a little bit more coloring down here because we do get a straight line here. So I'm going to try just to add a little more color in there and with a little bit of water just to try to get rid of that line. It may work, it may not, or if it doesn't work, it's okay because I can put pencil down there. Which I'll probably use to go over all this anyway because security blanket type thing. Bring some of that down too. We're gonna add a little more color right down in here. It didn't get to the color I wanted. And you can always add a little bit more in here as long as it's dry. I mean, you can add it when it's wet, but you'll just be pushing the color around. If you want the brighter color, you have to wait till it's dry to do that. Okay, I think that's looking all right. We're gonna add a little bit of that as a shadow under here. Bring that down. Should probably make an ice cream drip going down there. So just underneath the rim. Okay, and then down at the very base I wanted that darker too, so we're gonna just add some of that down here. That is really bright. Go around the ladder legs. Kind of shadow there. And bring it up on this side. Do a little work on these lines too. Just kind of bring it up a little bit because they will be a little darker. The glass will be thicker there. Okay. Now we need to put in more pink in our strawberry ice cream so it doesn't look like it's not got much flavor. I want a little more flavor in my ice cream here. I'll put those calories on, I might as well enjoy it. Try to put it dark where all the shadow lines are, but watercolor kind of has a mind of its own, which is the fun part. Okay, let that dry. Our chocolate looks like a big pile of mud, but we'll work on that too. Put a little more color in there. So just mixing the black and the umber back up again. Kind of blend those edges a little bit. Okay. Vanilla is just going to stay vanilla because I have to work on that with pencils. I have a stick over here I have to do something with, so let's make it a pretty fun color. We're just going to go in with some lemon yellow on that. And we have a stem up here on our cherries. I'm not sure what the stem should be. Should they be brown or should they be green? So we're going to mix the olive green with the chocolate that we have here, just to add a little bit of that in there. And we will make a brownish green to go down the stem. And I'll probably add a little more brown into that later. Anybody else have a stem like that? Nope. Add a little of that into the strawberry top and the raspberry tops. Just give it a little more color. Okay, so you see the little lines that I've added into the micey. I want to add a few more, so we're gonna go in the pretty dry paintbrush and just touch a darker brown. It has to be pretty dry. Because when it gets wet, we don't get our lines. Like I said, it's pretty hard to do with a water brush because the water brush wants to continually keep itself wet. And I'm stubborn. I don't want to change water brushes or paint brushes. So I'm just going to try to get it to work. think he looks kind of cute. Probably come in with pencils on them. The little cookies here need a little jam filling, so we're going to go in with, we have a rust red here. 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should be rust red. And we're going to add a little pink into that and make a jam filling or a fruit filling here. Then we'll get some water on that, bring it over. Oh, that looks tasty. All right. Just double checking, making sure I've got color on everything. We do have to put in some kind of floor here, but I'm going to do that with Distress ink, I hope. Okay, so I'm going to pause it here, let everybody dry, and then I'll come back and we will do some Posca work and some pencil work. See you in a bit. Okay, Posca time. We're going to add a little bit here and there, and I'm hoping this one works. Give it a shake up. And we will see. We're going to add some shine to our chocolate and hopefully make it, yeah, it doesn't really lay down terribly well. Let's see. I think I have another one up here. And if that doesn't work, we'll have to use a different gel pen or something. Okay. Go over that line. Maybe it takes a couple times, I don't know. Never put it on watercolor before, but this doesn't seem to be working. So, I've got a couple of gel pens, a Jelly Roll, and a Signo White. We'll find out which one works, won't we? That one, and then we will try with the Signo White. I think that's my best bet. We'll go over all these. I'll wait for that one to dry. Probably that one to dry too. Oh, this is interesting. Never really had any problem with these pens before. So we may have to go over them a couple times. Got it all over my hand. Okay, for the strawberry, we're going to kind of follow these lines here. Try to cover them up, maybe add a few of our own. Because the strawberry's got some veining in there. Bring it down a little. For the cookie, we're just going to kind of put a shine on it. I might have to go over this a few times. Okay, so we're going to do the little fruit down here. We're going to go up this line. And then on some of these areas that we have lines coming up. Just add in some, I don't know what they call them, pulp lines. And just some lines there. Kind of go a little down here next to the rind. I think that looks good. We'll do the same thing up here with the orange. So we'll go up the line. Kind of add a little bit of white down here for the pith part of the orange. Blend that in. Maybe I should add that down here on the lime too. There we go. All right, make them look juicy, right? Okay, we're going to add a little bit of this in our raspberries. So you can see the raspberries. We're just going to add a little in the white of the berry itself, or the little berry bits. Just a little white shine. And if you want, you can knock those down a little bit. We can also add some red pencil on top of that. I don't think I'll put too much in that one, but the cookie up here, I think I'll just run it right across this raised area of the cookie. Like a little thing of white frosting. And then we'll add a little bit down here. Lighten that up a little bit. Okay. We probably should add some more shading on those straws too. Let's see if I can't get it up here on this chocolate now. There we go. Just kind of going over the lines that they had already put down there. Okay, and on our lollipop, or cake pop, I'm just going to go over this and make that white frosting too. Okay. Where else do we need some sparkle? Without putting too much arm on here, I'm going to put it in the glass up here. sides. Try to keep my lines straight, and I didn't. Maybe down here. Down on this part. Put some on the strawberry as a shine mark. And we can do that on the cherries too. Do that up here on the top. Alright. Anything else that we can think of here? Nope, the rest of it's going to be done with pencil, so I'm going to have to get the camera up a little bit for that. Hold on. Alright, I got out a whole bunch of pencils, pens, fineliners, all Arteza products. So this whole page is being done in Arteza products. Just different kinds. So, I had mentioned earlier when I was doing a video on the retractable gel pens that they do sometimes seem to be a little water soluble. So I'm going to use that to my advantage here. I'm going to just color in this area here. And while that is still wet, take my water brush and just kind of bring that up in to my chocolate drip and onto my white paint here. Just adding a little bit of a shadow, and if it gets down in here, it gets to be a shadow too, which is cool. So I will do that on all these little drips. It's a nice chocolatey color. If you're wondering, it's the brown pen in the set. Remember, that set does not have any names. We'll bring that down in here. Up into here too. And if we get any in here, it's our shadow. Saves me a whole point there. Okay. The next one. Then we're going to put some in here to darken our little hole. If it goes over too much of your white, just go over your white again, or do this prior to putting white down. Just a hint there. You can also use any of the fineliner pens for this if you don't want to use that as a shadow. Boom. That's cool. If you want any of these other areas dark, you can just go over them. You can leave it as is You don't have to use the water brush to do this either. All up to you, how you want your little cake to look. And then we'll just add a little over on this side. There we go. So that changes the effect of that one. We have the Fineliners, or the Ionic, whichever way you want to pronounce this. This is 187, and I'd have to look it up. I don't know what color it is. It's pink. I'm going to use it here on the strawberry ice cream. Going to darken the edges here. Go down where the lines are. Darken it up a little bit. And if you get it while it's wet, you can blend that a tiny bit. Not as much as the other one, but you can blend it a little bit. So you're going to add some underneath the chocolate. So chocolate syrup is dripping down. This way you can catch all your little places that the watercolor didn't get to. Darken up and not get into the colors above. And you can use darker pinks in here if you want to give it a brighter pink look, but I thought it was bright enough for strawberry ice cream. It could also be cherry ice cream, but we're doing Neapolitan, so and a touch up down here. All right, I think that's good enough for the pink. We've got a couple tones of brown, so we're going to, I think this one was for up there. Check this. Yeah, this one will work. Do the same thing. And just add a little brown into the chocolate one down here. Touch up our little lines and wherever you want the ice cream to look drippy or melty. Down into the little areas that you, well, I couldn't get to with the brush. Look around his feet. Tummy. Add a little shadow in there. Under his legs here. Try to define the ice cream a little better from the cookie. Okay, let that dry. We have, what else? Oh, we're going to do these. Now, they could either be straws or those little round cookies that people eat. Since I don't know what they are, I wonder if I can activate that a little bit, bring some purple to the side here. I want it to shade it a little more. Just bring some of that purple in there. Give it a little shading. Now they could be either cookies or straws. If they're cookies, that's frosting. So I'll put a little Posca in there to give it some kind of look on that also. On the glass down here, we're going to bring in a amethyst A088 colored pencil. And we're going to just kind of highlight the seams that come up, the thicker part of the glass. And amethyst goes quite well with the purple that we used. And any spots that I didn't get, I can just go over. And there is the thought that even though I'm not using the watercolor pencils, the colored pencils also have a tiny reaction with the water, and you can get a better blend just by going over it a little bit with your water brush. So I'm going to do that. Gives me a little more control around my little mousey so I don't get him purple. And doing shadows down here that I want darker. Then I can just activate that with a little water and bring it across. And I'm not painting with it, I'm just blending it. There. Okay. Down here we'll do these lines. Didn't get with the paint. As much as I would have liked. Do the very edge down here. And darken this place right down on the edge. We could bring that down a little if we want. Okay, and I think I'll do under the rim where the glass sits. So we'll just darken that up. Okay, on the rim up here where there's just a bowl, we're going to darken underneath him. There's an area over here that I missed, so we'll darken that and this area here. Then we will darken these areas a bit too. A little shadow under that cookie. A little shadow under the strawberry. Add a little water to that. Do the same on the other side. I don't know if that would be purple or ice cream. I'll make that brown, so I'm not going to mess with that part. A little shadow under here. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, the little flowers. We're going to darken the centers of those. Go up one side. And just give some dimension to those. Looks good. I'm going to add a little more of the dark purple down on this side. Sorry, voice is getting squeaky. Take a sip of tea here. All right. Let's see. I've got a few browns out, so really we'll see if I can come up with a light one and we'll get a little depth on his tail. Maybe add a few more. Brown lines in our little mousey here. Down his tail. Here we go. I have a gray out also. If we want to touch up any, I should get a black for him actually, or a darker gray. Pencil. I want a pencil for him. Okay. Let's see. I want a green too, so I might as well leave those out. Let's get them over to the side here. I want you to take a black and very lightly touch him up down here. Just add in a few more little lines. I'll do that on this little guy down here too. His lines kind of went away when the paint dried, so down his tail. Okay, what else do we need to do other than a background? Yeah, I'll probably add some details in there. I need to get some darker green here for those leaves. And this is fern. I am not going to be able to leave a list of all the products that I used or what colors I used at the time, so I'm really trying to let you know as I'm using them. just too many here. This is Forest. Get a little more color in there, just a different color. It's got a little more, I don't know, greenish yellow to it. It's like a mint leaf. Okay. Everybody looks all right. I didn't put sprinkles on yet because I have to get out gel pens for that. I do want to use, this is cocoa. And on this strawberry here, I want to make these seeds just a little darker. So we're going to go around the seeds as a shadow, so they'll stand out a little bit. And the cocoa will give it a nice little shadow. And we'll go up on the top up here and connect those pieces that I missed. We'll darken up the center of this. And touch up down here at the bottom. Use the same cocoa, and we'll go around the cookie and give it a little bit of shading. Shouldn't call it a cookie, it's a biscuit. Okay, we will darken up this one too. And we'll do this one up here. Go in and shade these little waffly areas. A little edge curl. Just basically covering everywhere that I didn't get paint on, and then just darkening where the little lines are that indicate shadow. Helping to find the cookie out. Do the same thing with the bananas. They don't darken enough in the shadowed area either. Okay. Keep looking over everything. What do I need to do? What do I need to do? This looks to be a part of the strawberry ice cream. So we're going to make that strawberry. I would touch that up with my water brush, but I seem to have lost it on my desk. I've got pencil cases, pen cases, pen containers, all over the place. Touch that. Don't know how much water is on that because I left it open. Okay. Don't know where its cap is either. All right. I need to get a ruler. Oh, this video is getting really long. Sorry, but I have to make a table here for this bowl to sit on. I don't want to go right where the light or the thing is, so instead of a ruler, I'm just going to go with a piece of paper and hopefully I get a straight line. Ish. Stack it against the side of the paper, I should, and then I'll just clip it on with a clipper, and I'm going to get a ink pad, and let's see, we've got a lot of pinks going on, purples. I don't want to do this blue. I'm thinking about just doing it a brown color down here. Hopefully I can bring the brown down without touching anybody. Making sure I'm straight-ish. And I'm going to just start on this side of the paper, and I'm just going to lightly bring it down. Very lightly here next to the food. I've always been asked about can you put water on the pads to rehydrate your ink, and no, you cannot. I will show you what will happen if I can find a brad. Okay, I've got a brown distress pad here. I'm going to put some water down on this paper, and I'm gonna get it wet. Okay, you've already noticed that there is ink on here, and this is happening. If you take this and you put it right on your ink pad, very carefully do it on this side over here. What's going to happen when you put this down is it's too wet to do anything. You're not going to get a blend. What you're going to get is a pile of water, ink. If you set it down too hard on your paper, it won't go anywhere. It won't blend, it won't reblend, it's just stuck. So that is a look if you want it. Not recommended. If your ink pads are dry, what would be recommended is to get a re-inker or buy a new ink pad, depending on how old your ink pad is, or I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, if that's a color you really like. I do have re-inkers for all mine, but I've also had my inks for, 6 years. I've only had to re-ink 3 of them. It's really easy to do. And the re-inkers don't cost too terribly much. Okay, there, we have a table-ish type thing. And since I have my line, I can just use this to go down here and fill in the other areas. It'll also help a little bit with the cookies. I'm not going to take it all the way across. I'm just going to let it bleed out here. I don't want it in the glass itself, but it can be in these cookies. It can touch the berries. In fact, this cookie would probably look really nice in this color. Okay. There we have a table-ish. Now what I'm going to do is take a color and put it on top. I'm going to use a different piece of paper because that one had water all over it. And I think I'll go with a blue. So we'll take a blue pad out and a... Yeah, don't go anywhere. You sit right here. Ink pad here. This ink pad, oh, the first one I used, by the way. What did I use? I have the vintage photo out, so I'm assuming I used it. If I didn't, I used the gathered twigs. That's more wet gathered twigs, so I used gathered twigs. This is tempered glass. I'm going to take another piece of paper. We're going to put it down as close to where I was here earlier. Just take it, starting on here again and bringing it up. Avoiding the cookie this time. Very lightly, lightly bringing it out. I want my little cookie not to be blue. Purple and blue go together, so if you accidentally get some into that, you're actually kind of like shading. Kind of neat. Make sure that you've touched your brown and don't have a white line between the two. And I'll go up on this side. And I'll check that out. Bring a little more color up in here, up and around our pudding, our orange, and then we'll work up here on the top. Add in a little blue up here. Remember, I'm only inking a little portion of this, and I'm using that to draw, or well, I guess you can call it draw, the color right into those areas. And I'm using a very light touch. Sounds like I'm scrubbing, but that's because the paper gives a nice squeaky sound. Add a little more brightness in here. Okay. Awesome. Then the other thing I want to do is add a little bit of shine to my chocolate here. Okay, go over these a little bit and maybe bring some of that shine down the glass a little bit. Brighten these up. Maybe add some on this cookie. I think I have to add a little more brown into the meringue up here. Same ink pad. Just gonna use it with my finger. Since I got brown in it, I might as well add it in, and we'll put some up here. Okay. Gonna use a little bit of that in my vanilla ice cream here too. Just add a shadow. This is just the ink pad touching just that corner. Gonna use it to draw with. Add in some shadow there. You can do that with the pudding over here too. Just add a little bit more shadow underneath that chocolate or whatever it is that's dripping down. Put some on the cantaloupe. Can go on the strawberry a little bit. And then the raspberries. This area in here that I didn't know what it was. Down on this cookie. A little bit in this strawberry. If I want it any darker in the center here, put some there. Okay. I can do this all day. I know you don't want to sit here and watch me do this all day. Gonna put some in this cookie too. Okay. And I'm going to use the same thing, and I'm going to take my favorite little stamp. It's the itty bitty dot stamp. And it makes itty bitty dots. Okay, I'm going to put it in, and I'm going to dab it off, and then I'm going to put some dots down on our non-existent but here table. Just want to add some texture to it. Down below. Let me put some of this in the banana, the cookie for that matter. We got some cookie marks. I'll put some banana blob up there. And that cookie. It's okay if I got some in the glass. It's see-through, so it will be showing through. I'm going to put a little up here on this pudding. A little bit in the ice cream here too. Okay. Boom. All right. I think that is looking good. I think we're done. So what I'll do is I will take a picture of it. I don't know if I can raise you up high enough to see it all. I'll take a picture. I'm going to touch up this little corner up here, and I will put it at the end of the video. So hope you enjoyed my watercolor, a little bit of distress ink, a little bit of Inkonic marker, a little bit of Arteza, just colored pencils, and the gel pen. I like that. It's a fun picture. Thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you in another video. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and giving me a thumbs up on these. I really appreciate it. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. I will see you later. Bye now.